Have you been looking for ways to make your gigs easier? Maybe you're a new DJ, or maybe you're a seasoned vet and you've just been looking for ways to make things easier. Well, my name's Nate Acosta, and today I'm gonna share with you my 6 game-changing hacks for making my gigs easier. This is gonna make sure that your gigs run smoother, saves you time, and really cuts down on a lot of those pre-show jitters. So let's get right to it. Number 1, an organized cable box or bag. You know, there's nothing worse than showing up to a gig and you're looking for a certain cable and for whatever reason you can't find it. That's why it's super important that you have all of your cables organized to the best of your ability. So I actually use a Milwaukee Packout. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but it's basically broken down into 3 compartments. It has a top compartment, a middle compartment, and a bottom compartment. So on the bottom compartment, I keep most of like my big extension cords that I don't use that often. Those are ones stay in the bottom. I pull those out kind of as needed. On the middle compartment, that's where I keep like all the stuff that I use for every single gig. So I have like my 25-foot XLRs, my power strip, power cables, everything that I need every single gig stays in that middle one. And then at the top one is where I keep things like batteries, adapters that I don't really use all that often, things like an XLR to 1/4 inch, or maybe like an RCA cable. So a bunch of different cables I keep in there. Now, not only do I have that, I also have like this little lunchbox looking thing. And that's where I keep like my cables for like my Osmo Pocket. I keep cables to like charge my phone, my iPad, and a couple of other small adapters that I use for like ceremonies and stuff. So when it comes to being organized, man, that is a huge game-changing tip for me, at least, is making sure that I have everything as organized as possible. And when I clean up, I always make sure to put everything back the way it was. That way for the next gig, I have it ready and it's good to go. So again, man, making sure that you have all your essential cables as organized as possible is just going to help you, save time on setup. You're not going to be spending as much time looking for certain things, and you're going to have everything that you need. Maybe if you guys would like a detailed video on what I keep in my toolbox, let me know down in the comments, and maybe we could do a whole video just on that. All right, tip number 2, light and portable gear. All right. Now, I know you guys like to rock parties, but you don't want to ruin your back, right? So this is why when I am purchasing gear, I am looking for stuff that is going to be easy to set up and it's not going to be extremely heavy. So I currently use the Evox 12s. They're not super, super heavy. I do keep them in a road case that does kind of make it a little bit heavier, but I do have a trailer that has a ramp on it and we roll things in and out of. So that really saves my back, right? I'm not having to lift these huge speakers that are super extremely heavy. So when you're looking for gear to purchase, man, think of that, right? Think of like, hey, well, what can I get away with using the majority of the time that's not going to weigh a whole bunch? Again, for my ceremonies, for instance, I use an Everse 8. That thing weighs like 15 pounds. I try to find, speaker stands that aren't as heavy either. That way, again, it just makes it easier for me to set up and I don't have to worry about all of that as much. And when you're investing in lighter gear, especially if you're gonna be doing events alone, this is really going to make that difference for you. So look for things like foldable stands, portable speakers, things that aren't as heavy that are really gonna save your back when you're trying to go through and set up. All right, hack number 3, site surveys. Now this one right here is super important, y'all, because if you are going to be DJing at a venue that you've never DJ'd before, going to the venue to actually look around and make sure that you're not going to run into any surprises the day of is extremely important. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples, right? So I use a video DJ booth, and my video DJ booth doesn't always fit in every single elevator. So by going to venues on these site visits, I just make sure that, hey, are the doors going to be wide enough for me to get my booth through? If I have to be up on that second level, does my booth fit in the elevator? So another example, there's this one venue here in Dallas, literally in the whole reception area, y'all, they have 1 plug. So by doing a site visit, I was able to realize, hey, I'm going to need a crap load of extension cords because literally where they usually put the DJ and where that plug is probably a good 80 to 90 feet away. So we brought plenty of extension cord, plenty of gaffer's tape to tape everything down. Now it is a little bit of an inconvenience, but can you imagine if I would have got there the day of and not had enough extension cords? So do yourself a favor, go do those site visits if you've never been to a venue, and yeah, save yourself some headache. Now, hack number 4. This is something that I keep with me at all my events as well. It is a pre-packed essential bag. Now, what I mean by that, I keep like things like Tylenol in there. I keep like little wet wipes to like, get stains. I keep deodorant. I keep gel. I keep a beard comb. All sorts of stuff that you are going to need to make sure that you look your best. Mints, you don't want to be talking to a wedding planner or another vendor and your breath is all stank, right? So if you have a pre-packed bag that you can keep all of your essentials in, man, that is going to save you a lot of headache as well. And it's going to make sure that you look and smell and feel good the day of. So make sure you get yourself a pre-packed bag. Again, throw things like wipes in there, bro. Like I said, a beard comb, hair gel, cologne, all that stuff that you need to make sure that you look, smell, and feel your best. So that's going to save you. All right, let's move on. Hack number 5. And this one's very, very important too. It is backup playlists or backup music. All right, so for every single gig that I do as well, I keep an iPad on me. All right, now that iPad, I load like the top 150 songs for the event. I also keep all of the couples must plays on there. Just in case something goes wrong, I can hurry up, hook up the iPad and kind of keep things going until I figure out like if my iPad were to crash or something, right? So that is going to save you some time. I will even download Spotify playlists on that iPad. Again, just to, worst case scenario, if I need to play music in a pinch, I have all of that and I'm not scrambling looking for everything. Now, when it comes to that, I also make sure I always have the adapter that goes into my iPad. So my iPad doesn't have like a headphone jack. It has like the little, Apple adapter that goes from the Lightning or whatever they call it to a headphone jack. So I keep that adapter in there. I also keep an RCA plugged into the mixer. So that way I don't have to like fumble for any of that stuff. It's already set up, ready for me to go. So again, if you can do that, make sure you keep a backup playlist on some type of device. Even if it's your phone, man, keep some music on there just in case you need to have a backup plan when it comes to the big day. All right, let's move on. Tip number 6. And this one is also super important. Tip number 6, the do not playlist, all right? Now, this one honestly is probably more important than the must playlist because there is nothing worse than playing a song and having your couple turn around and be like, what the hell is that? That's their least favorite song. They hate that song or artist. So making sure that you're super prepared, you get all of that information up front when it comes to your clients on what their likes, but more importantly, what their dislikes are, is going to save you a lot of time and stress. And if you are looking for a solution for this, if you're not using Vibo, man, I definitely recommend you check it out. Vibo is a planning app that we use here at DNA. And the whole purpose of that is for us to be able to gather all of their music selections. And the nice thing about it, man, it literally breaks down all of the songs that a couple is going to need for their special day. So whether it's like the ceremony walk-in song, their grand entry song, but it also has a do not play section. And this one comes into play a lot of the times because a lot of my clients, I tell them, hey, look, give me 10 to 15, maybe even 20 of your do not plays because I want to make sure that I do not play anything that you do not like. So the do not playlist is another hack, man, that if you haven't thought about it, making sure that you get that on the front end so when you show up to the day of, you are super prepared. So there you have it, man. Hacks to make your gigs easier. I hope you guys found this beneficial. If there's some hacks that maybe you're utilizing that I didn't mention in this video, let me know down in the comments. Or if there's some hacks that, hey, you're not really feeling, you don't think it's a very good hack, I'd love to know about that too, man. But anyways, guys, thanks for checking out the video. If you haven't done so, like, comment, subscribe. That helps me out a ton. And I'll see you guys on the next video, man. Y'all be easy.